Hi, everybody. Welcome to By the Talks and come with me to reading in English. Okay, guys, today we will read the chapter number 6. We already finished the agreements, but the book have another chapters when they explain different things that we can do to improve our life. That's why we will read this chapter is the number 6. And let's go. The Toltec Path to Freedom. Breaking old agreement. Everyone talks about freedom. All around the world, different people, different races, different countries are fighting for freedom. But what is freedom? In America, we speak of living in a free country. But are we really free? Are we free to be who we really are? The answer is no. We are not free. True, freedom has to do with the human spirit. It is the freedom to be who we really are. Who stops us from being free? We blame the government. We blame the weather. We blame our parents. We blame religion. We blame God. Who really stops us from being free? We stop ourselves. What does it really mean to be free? Sometimes we get married and we say that we lost our freedom. Then we get divorced and we are still not free. What stops us? Why can't we be ourselves? We have memories of long ago when we used to be free and we love being free, but we have forget what freedom really means. If we see a child who is 2 or 3, perhaps 4 years old, we find a free human. Why is this human free? Because this human does whatever he or she wants to do. The human is completely wild, just domesticated. Wild. And if we observe humans who are 2 years old, we find that most of the time this human have a big smile on their face and they're having fun. They are exploring the world. They are not afraid to play. They are not afraid when they are hurt, when they are hungry, when some of their needs are not met. But they don't worry about the past, don't care about the future, and only live in the present moment. Very young children are not afraid to express what they feel. They are so loving that if they perceive love, they melt into love. They are not afraid to love at all. That is the description of a normal human being. As a children, we are not afraid of the future or ashamed of the past. Our normal human tendency is to enjoy life, to play, to explore, to be happy, and to love. But what has happened with the adult human? Why are we so different? Why are we not wild? From the point of view of the victim, we can say that something sad happened to us. And from the point of view of the warrior, we can say that what happened to us is normal. What has happened is that we have the book of law, the big judge, and the victim who rule our lives. We are no longer free because the judge, the victim, and the belief system don't allow us to be who we really are. Once our minds have been programmed with all that garbage, we are no longer happy. This chain of training from humans to human, from generation to generation, is perfectly normal in human society. You don't need to blame your parents for teaching you to be like them. What else could they teach you but what they know? They did the best they could, and if they abused you, it was due to their own domestication, their own fears, their own beliefs. They had no control over the programming they received. So they couldn't have behaved any differently. There is no need to blame your parents or anyone who abused in your life, including yourself. But it is time to stop the abuse. It is time to free yourself of the tyranny of the youth by changing the foundation of your own agreements. It is time to be free from the role of the victim. The real you is still a little child who never grew up. Sometimes that little child comes out when you are having fun or playing, when you feel happy, when you are painting or writing poetry or playing the piano or expressing yourself in some way. These are happiest moments of your life, when the real you comes out, when you don't care about the past and you don't worry about the future. You are childlike. But there is something that changed all that. We call them responsibilities. The youth says, wait a second, you are responsible, you have things to do. You have to work, you have to go to school, you have to earn a living. All these responsibilities come to mind. Our face changes and becomes serious again. If you watch children when they are playing adults, you will see their little face change. Let's pretend I'm a liar. And right away their face change. The adult face takes over. We go to court and that is the face we see. And that is what we are. We are still children, but we have lost our freedom. The freedom we are looking for is the freedom to be ourselves, to express ourselves. But if we look at our lives, we will see that most of the time we do things just to please others, just to be accepted by others, greater than living our lives to please ourselves. That is what has happened to our freedom. And we see in our society and all the societies around the world that for every 2,000 people, 999 are completely domesticated. The worst part is that most of us are not even aware that we are not free. There is something inside that whispers to us, that we are not free, but we do not understand what it is and why we are not free. The problem with most people is that they live their lives and never discover that the youth and the victim rule their mind, and therefore they don't have a chance to be free. The first step toward personal freedom is awareness. We need to be aware that we are not free in order to be free. We need to be aware of what the problem is in order to solve the problem. Awareness is always the first step because if you are not aware, there is nothing you can change. If you are not aware that your mind is full of wants and emotional poison, you cannot begin to clean and heal the wounds, and you will continue to suffer. There is no reason to suffer. With awareness, you can reveal and say, "This is enough." You can look for a way to heal and transform your personal dream. The dream of the planet is just a dream. It is not even real. If you go into the dream and start challenging your beliefs, you will find that most of the beliefs that get you into the wounded mind are not even true. You will find that you suffered all those years of drama for nothing. Why? Because the belief system that was put inside your mind is based on lies. That is why it is important for you to master your own dream. That is why the Toltec became dreams masters. Your life is the manifestation of your dream. It is an art. And you can change your life anytime. If you aren't enjoying the dream master, create a masterpiece of life. They control the dream by making choices. Everything has consequences, and a dream master is aware of the consequence. To be Toltec is a way of life. It is a way of life where there are no leaders and no followers. Where you have, where you have your own truth and life your own truth. A Toltec becomes wise, becomes wild, and becomes free again. There are three mysteries that lead people to become Toltecs. First is the mastery of awareness. This is to be aware of who we really are with all the possibilities. The second is the mastery of transformation, how to change, how to be free of domestication. The third is the mastery of intent. Intent, from the Toltec point of view, is that part of life that makes transformation of energy possible. It is the one living being that seamlessly encompasses all energy, or what we call God. Intent is life itself. It is unconditional love. The mastery of intent is therefore the mastery of love. When we talk about the Toltec path to freedom, we find that they have an entire map for breaking free of domestication. They compare the youth, the victim, and the belief system to a parasite that invades the human mind. From the Toltec point of view, all humans who are domesticated are sick. They are sick because there is a parasite that controls the mind and controls the brain. The food for the parasite is the negative emotion that comes from fear. If we look at the description of a parasite, we find that a parasite is a living being who lives off of other living beings, sucking their energy without any useful contribution in return, and hurting their host little by little. The youth, the victim, and the belief system fit this description very well. Together, they comprise a living being made of psychic or emotional energy, and that energy is alive. Of course, it is not material energy, but neither are emotion material energy. Our dreams are not material energy either, but we know they exist. It is a place of joy, a place where we are happy, where we are free to love and to be who we really are. We can reach heaven while we are alive. We don't have to wait until we die. God is always present and the kingdom of heaven is everywhere. But first, we need to have the eyes and ears to see and hear that truth. We need to be free of the parasite. The parasite can be compared to a monster with 1,000 hits. Every hit of the parasite is one of the fears that we have. If we want to be free, we have to destroy the parasite. One solution is to attack the parasite hit by hit, which means we face each of our fears one by one. This is a slow process, but it works. Every time we face one of the fears, we are a little more free. A second approach is to stop feeding the parasite. If we don't give the parasite any food, we kill the parasite by starvation. To do this, we have to gain control of our emotions. We have to refrain from feeling the emotions that come from fear. This is easy to say, but it is very difficult to do. It is difficult because the youth and the victim control our mind. A third solution is called the initiation of the deed. The initiation of the deed is found in many traditions and esoteric schools around the world. We find it in Egypt, India, Greece, in America. This is a symbolic deed which kills the parasite without harming our physical body. When we die, symbolically, the parasite has to die. This is faster than the first two solutions, but it is even more difficult to do. We need a great deal of courage to face the angel of death. We need to be very strong. Let's take a closer look to each of these solutions. Okay, guys. In the next chapter, we will read this part: The Art of Transformation, the Dream of the Second Attention. Okay, guys, the chapter is very big. We have to spend a long time to read, and we will continue on the next video. And for now, I think the book is very, very, very interesting to me, or I don't know if you think the same, but for me, this book helped me a lot. And see you in the next video. Thank you for watching my video, and what do you think? Leave up the comments, I will read. And if you see some mistake, please tell me up the comments too. Bye.